Sit!
Welcome to the Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast, where we discuss Dynasty strategy, rankings, and all things NFL. So get ready to geek out on fantasy football with your host, Rich Dotson.
And welcome to the Dynasty Nerd Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm still Rich Dotson, and he's still Matt O'Hara.
Hey.
Well, no more chit-chat on this episode. We're going to get right in it, shall we?
Way too much.
We had a little chit-chat before. We've talked about an hour and a half so far.
It's been a while since we've been in this
shows.
room with no Jared or Garrett to kind of keep us on the rails, so to speak. We kind of got way off.
Jared's been here?
He was here during rookie season like once.
2 years ago?
No, this year.
He's busy doing other things.
he
That's
is.
fine. He's got kids and
He's a behind-the-scener now.
So, today's show is Boomer Bust, our original show for yesterday, but then we talked about like just being a good person. And then we're like, let's do a little ranking debates. And that's always fun. You have a good time. That was your first one you did that. Pretty good show, right?
It is good. And you know what? Those are healthy.
Really healthy.
Yeah.
That's why me and Garrett do them a lot.
Yeah. I like them because it gives you, hey, this is where you have this guy. How come you have? And sometimes, and if you listened, it's like, oh, that was an error. Yep. I need to move that person. Or it's like, I know I got him here. And then by the end of you talk about, we both kind of came together on one of the guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
100%. And that's what happens in every show. And me and Garrett originally did that show as just like a Nerd Herd show, one offer. And we're like, dude, we had the same right. Like, that's a really good show. And we've done it ever since for over a year now. Really good show. So check that out if you haven't heard that one. But today's show is Boomer Busts. So Matt and I kind of sat down and went through some players and thought of like, all right, who are boom or bust players? So obviously a boom would be somebody who does really, really well.
Yeah.
And a bust would be somebody who doesn't do really, really well.
Yeah. Like the opposite of that.
I like simplistic.
Yeah. No, that
versions.
is as easy as it can get. And obviously, you know, every year there are some players that we think are going to do well and then all of a sudden don't. So hopefully more of these players are booms and busts, but these are the types of players some people want to just completely avoid, right? They want to keep these guys off their fantasy team at all kind of costs. But if you're a little bit more of a risque player, these people might be a little bit more appealing, right?
So 100%. And I kind of took this approach as from a dynasty lens, right? Like I did this from a lens of going, okay, they're going to either boom and do really well, or like they're going to bust and their dynasty value plummets, right? Because like you could say, oh, boom or bust, Cam Scatterbo. If Cam Scatterbo doesn't do like really well this year, his value doesn't just plummet, right? Like people still want him, depending on how involved he's in. No rookie can classify in here. It's also kind of hard to classify like even a second-year player, right? Like, oh, they're not just a bust because they didn't break out in year two. So,
well, I do have a second-year player on here, and we'll talk about it. I think he's maybe an exception of that.
There's always exceptions to the rules.
Yep.
Yeah. So my first boomer bust player I had on here is Breece Hall, running back of the New York Jets. And, you know, I'm just a really big fan of Breece Hall. And I'm on the boom side. Let me start there. But when it comes to him, like this is a big year for him because last year he looked like he lost a little bit of that explosiveness after the ACL.
Totally.
And he's already moved down a little bit of people's dynasty rankings. And with this new influx of young running backs, like if he doesn't come in here and boom some, there's a lot of guys that could potentially take a big leap load. And now he could fall in that more category, that mid-range running back, like 13 to 16. And that's just, those are guys that you could easily go find, right?
Totally.
So I look at Breece Hall. I mean, he's that kind of player before that injury that could single-handedly just come out here and dominate your league, right? He's that dynamic three-back elite running back. When I remember watching his tape saying,
back. Yep.
Yeah, this is a guy like playing Tecmo football that knows where everybody's going to be. I loved his tape. One of the best running back prospects I've ever watched tape on. So, like, he's very elite, really good athleticism, and really elite in the passing game as well. And that's where he thrives. I mean, this guy can take a short pass, and boom, he's 50 yards downfield. I mean, if you look back at 2023, he finished at running back 2 overall. Ooh. After the end of that year, I moved to my dynasty running back 1 after that. And that's in PPR. Yep. Now, that running back 2 overall, he's running back in 6 in points per game. But he averaged 17.1, which is really solid. And even last year, when you look at him, which is a down year overall. But you have Aaron Rodgers there who did better than a lot of the other quarterbacks there. You have Garrett Wilson. Even in a down year, he averaged 15.1 points per game. Good for running back 16. And it all comes down to his ability to catch passes, right? He's averaged at least 4 receptions per game overall in his career, which makes him really a PPR dynasty goldmine, right? You bring in Justin Fields now at quarterback. You have an improved Jets offensive line. They got that rookie. They bring in a rookie they drafted, and I can't pronounce his last name.
I can't either, so I'm not going to try.
They signed veteran Morgan Moses. So he is somebody who consistently just busts off that big pass or big run even in the game. He'll take a screen pass, and he'll set up his blocks perfectly and be good to go. And we can look at the Jets trailing next year's, right? And Justin Fields has to check down, and that's where Breece Hall really shines when it comes to fantasy football production, those checkdowns. He had 76 targets in 2024, and he had the new the new scheme there, Ingstrand scheme. That's a tongue twister for me, where he can see about 4 to 5 catches a game.
So this is a Ben Johnson disciple, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm. So we can expect a lot of pass-heavy scripts and getting a running back involved in here. So if we can see some improvement from Justin Fields, where he improves in his processing and passing, he has that top 12, again, elite running back 1 status if he gets over those 60 catches. But there's obviously a lot of boom, right? Or a lot of bust here potential, because his situation is messier than somebody's pants, like that is against the rail on New Year's Eve in Times Square, right? Those people have where to go. They have nowhere to go. It's gross.
Nasty.
Very nasty. Okay. I always think about it when I see people on TV, like, those people have nowhere to go. They've been staying there since 9 a.m.
Maybe there's a porta potty nearby.
How do you get to it without losing your spot?
Anyways. Save my spot, dude. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm sure it works. You bring a new coaching staff led by Aaron Glenn, and he's already hinted at 3-down committees, with rookies. They have Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis.
Right.
I'm not buying that.
The rookies from last year.
Yeah, from last year. I'm not buying that at all.
Yeah.
I've said it before because they didn't look that great. But it's still been mentioned. You can use Isaiah Davis in the passing game. You can use Braylon Allen on the goal line. So that could eat in some of their touches. You could say Hall only had 3 games last year with 18-plus PPR points, and that was all in the first half of the season. In the second half, when the offense struggled, he struggled mightily. But again, when Zach Wilson's there, like these third quarterbacks are in there, like, you expect bad play. So we saw his share drop down some there in the passing game in the second half. He's got some tough defenses to play this year. He's got Buffalo, of course, a couple times. He plays Pittsburgh, so that could be a little bit scary. But my number one thing that I think that could lead to bust right here is Justin Fields, right? To me, Justin Fields is an elite rusher. That's where he brings to the game. He's averaged 6.24 yards per carry, highest among all running backs from 21 to 23. And he'll scramble a lot. And what I'm worried most, though, too, is like where Breece Hall thrives, which is that check down passing game. He's top of the field there.
Yeah. Justin Fields might be
bottom of the field.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, when it comes to Fields, is in the bottom when it comes down to checking field, the football.
That was going to be my concern. Everything you were talking about, obviously, all the chatter and the talk has been about Justin Fields not really checking the ball down, and it's going to, I think, limit some of what Breece Hall is able to accomplish. And potentially, right? I don't know, but
10-14% target to running back rate is drastically lower than the league average, about 20.
And that's what Fields is at, 10 to.
I think about 10 to 40.
Okay. So I mean, obviously that's a bit of a bummer. This running back by committee thing, I think is a real concern, but I don't know that it's going to. Isaiah Davis doesn't scare me at all. If anything were to happen, it'd be Braylon Allen as a battering ram type of guy, because that's what he's capable of doing with his size, and being like a between the tackle grinder. But Breece Hall is a good enough running back that if he's right and everything is back to pre-injury form, he's a 3-down guy. You don't need a second running back. You don't need to take him off the field for any reason. So that's where there's the yin and the yang, right? Like that's what makes him a boom or bust type of guy. Which way is this thing going to fall? Is it going to be Breece Hall is back to the 2023 version of himself, and he's able to just carry the load and catch passes and everything's all good? Okay, so maybe his passes come down a little bit from that year when he was running back 2.
Yeah.
just because Justin Fields isn't the type of quarterback that's going to check down a lot. He's gonna see an opening and just use it. Justin Fields is going to see an opening and use the legs. He's not going to check it down and let somebody else do that. He's just going to do it himself.
Even the way he passes the ball together, I mean, he has like an 8-yard A-dot, right? Like, so he's just consistently, even when he does throw the ball, his strength is downfield compared to short and intermediate. Because what does he do? He's just going to run the ball. He's
just going to use his legs and gobble up yards that way on the short stuff.
And to be fair, I mean, that's the situation he's also found himself in as well. You know what I mean? Like in those kind of situations, not a lot of like weapons. Now he's get the rapport with Garrett Wilson. You do have a better offensive line. You do got.
You want to just get into my guy here? You know,
Yeah.
we're talking Breece, but we kind of came up with these independently, and Justin Fields was one of my guys. So obviously last year, while we're talking Justin Fields stuff, let's just get some numbers out there for him. QB7 last year in Pittsburgh, prior to him getting benched. So just process that for a minute. As far as boom bust potential, obviously a little bit different situation here this year with the Jets, with Tyrod Taylor behind him, but it's not like
Wilson.
But it's not like Tyrod Taylor is a young rookie. You know what I mean? Tyrod Taylor is the type of guy that if Justin Fields isn't doing what the coaching staff wants, they know that Tyrod Taylor will just do it, and like he'll just be okay. And if everything else is working for a team, Tyrod Taylor can come in and win a few games.
He's also, I mean, I think before with the Russ, obviously that was a clear concern, but now with the new contract, like Justin Fields is the guy all year long. I don't think there's any worry, which is why you're super excited, because when you're right, doesn't matter how he plays at quarterback, when he's on the field fantasy-wise, he's always top 8.
He was top 7 last year. So, I mean, obviously this is a guy that uses his legs a ton. He was like the third quarterback ever to run for 1,000 yards. He has over 2,500 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns on the ground. If you look at his overall stats, they're not even that bad. So, like it's almost 8,000 yards passing, 45 touchdowns with 31 interceptions, a 61% completion percentage, which is passable. It's not great. Like, elite passers, Joe Burrow, Tua, all these guys are above 70. And you want to be closer to that 68, 69-ish, mark to kind of really feel good about yourself as a passer. But I think Josh Allen last year was about 63.6 or something. So right around 64%. It can be done. You know what I mean? But the problem with Justin Fields and the issue with him is obviously Chicago drafts him in the first round. And it only took a couple of years for them to kind of figure it out. All right, there's something missing here, right? And then he immediately goes to Pittsburgh. He starts the first 7 games, and then they're like, yeah, there's something missing here. He's quarterback 7 for fantasy, but there's just something there he's missing something that every team is kind of looking for. So I'm not sure what it is. It's obviously not his legs, so it must be from a passing standpoint. That it's almost like drive-killing things that you can't do in the NFL are happening, and it's so hard to kind of overcome that. So if he is able to overcome it, I think that's where you get the boom. If he's not able to overcome it, Tyrod Taylor's just sitting there on the bench, and he'll do everything that's just kind of okay, but right. You know what I mean? To move the ball.
I don't think we need to mention Tyrod Taylor's name again. I think he's insulated on his contract. And I think Justin Fields'
contract is fine for this year.
Yeah. But again, it's somebody else. And Tyrod Taylor, he's not coming in to take over. No matter how bad he plays, he's not coming in. But anyways, I think Justin Fields, when he came into the league, was a developmental quarterback.
That didn't get time to develop.
And definitely early on showed, you said his numbers aren't bad. He has showed some things. And I think it's very easy to go back, and I think he's been a big-time victim of his circumstances, right? When he was in Chicago, people were super stoked that they had Justin Fields. They were finally glad they had a quarterback, right?
Yep.
DJ Moore had his best year ever with Justin Fields. The only reason Justin Fields is not in Chicago anymore has really, honestly, nothing to do with Justin Fields. It's that the Bears made a really good trade, and the team, it wasn't even their own pick. Justin Fields didn't give the Bears the number 1 overall pick. They end up with the number 1 overall pick with a quarterback a former Heisman, that loved his ceiling higher than Caleb Williams or Justin Fields. When you're in a situation like that, you have to make the right move. No different than when the Colts had Peyton Manning, he missed a year because of injury. They found themselves, they could get Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Right? What did Peyton Manning do? He just left and won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. Like, no big deal. Like, he was still an elite quarterback. Right?
I mean, there's that example. There's also the Cardinals, obviously moving on from
Josh Rosen
really quickly and getting a guy that is clearly much better.
And obviously, Rosen was just bad. But yeah, you saw your mistake. You just saw an opportunity. Like, they didn't disparage Justin Fields. Just, they saw Caleb Williams like, this guy could be better. We have the pick. It's not even our pick. We're taking a better quarterback. He goes signs with Pittsburgh, right, for an opportunity to start. Then they signed Russ Wilson. Pittsburgh's a must-win team. They were down a little bit, and then they gave Russell Wilson a shot, who legitimately they told was going to be the starter anyways, but he was hurt, right? And he had to sit a little bit and just wait for that right window to give Russ his shot to see if they could win. So Justin Fields has not had a chance to grow into the quarterback that he can grow into. He goes to New York, new team, new system, a legit contract, finally.
2-year deal, $30 million guaranteed, including signing bonus, the 2025 salary, and only $10 million of next year's salary.
So yeah, but like,
it's not really that legitimate.
Right. It's not real legitimate. But in fact, got legit money. Let me put it that way. Like he wasn't paid like the pennies on a dollar. And
$30 million for a quarterback for 2 years.
But we believe in a little bit. Kind of okay. Right.
That is
okay. You're right.
We'll see what we got. Money.
You're right.
If you don't work out, we're going to go draft
easily replaceable. You're right. 100% on that. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But he gets to pair out with a kid he played with in high school or in college.
Yep.
That is an elite wide receiver. Yep. Will be the best receiver he's played with yet.
Agreed.
A better offensive line and the best running back he's played with so far as well. And he has to know, like, this is it. I got to put this together. So he has to show enough on tape. So I'm right. He is totally boom or bust. And the good thing is, as long as he plays every game, he's more likely boom just because he gets it done. Dynasty value, we need to see enough if there's any long-term.
Right. Right. And so the money says prove it. This year, prove it. And that's his value could be absolutely nothing after this year. And that's what makes him a total bust. It doesn't even need to be, you said don't mention Tyrod Taylor again. I won't.
Just did it.
No, I'm not. I'm not mentioning Tyrod Taylor as a guy that could come off the bench. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of Tyrod Taylor talk around here.
But if they're in a position where things start looking super ugly and they don't give a crap, like they're just, who cares? Let's just lose games. Let's get the best quarterback we can. Let's set ourselves up. Tyrod Taylor could be in the lineup. If they just want to start losing games and play for next year and play for a better quarterback slot next year, Tyrod Taylor could be it. And
Maybe they'll puncture Justin Fields' lungs?
Puncture Justin Fields' lungs and get Tyrod Taylor his beautiful redemption. Sweet redemption.
I'm sure he's out there shanking people with hypodermic needles.
So all I'm saying is, like, this thing could go a bad in a couple different ways for Justin Fields. And it could be immediately, like in the middle of the season, boom, all right, let's play for a better draft slot. It's not like... And as an aside, it's not like Justin Fields is like this picture of health who's played a full 17-game slate throughout his career ever. Like he's played 12, 15, 13, and 10 games. I mean, last year 10 games was probably
not his fault.
Not his fault,
okay.
but
right.
Still.
All right, let's take a little time to ourselves here. Okay. Let's reflect on everything we just talked about.
I'll be quiet. How about you talk?
No, we're both going to talk at the same time in a minute.
All right.
We're going to reflect on everything we just talked about.
All right.
I want the audience to do this as well. I want everybody who's with us to think about this. On a count of 3, we're going to start with Breece Hall. We're going to say boom or bust.
Okay.
It's what we think how it's going to go.
This is in our brain.
No, when I get to 3, we're going to say it out loud.
Oh, out loud.
I want everybody to listen and say this with us as well.
Okay.
Breece Hall will go first.
Okay. And then Justin Fields.
Yeah. We said how it can go either way, why it could go sideways or where it can't.
Okay.
Which way do we think it's going to go?
Okay.
Breece Hall, 1, 2, 3,
boom.
Next on the list.
Okay.
His teammate, his colleague, Justin Fields. Can go either way. We made strong arguments.
Sure.
You made stronger. I made
okay arguments.
Okay arguments.
All right.
Guy got dealt a bad deck of cards.
He sure did.
You can only do so much with Jack 10. Looks nice.
It sure does.
But Queen High can beat it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3, boom.
Bust. You said it louder, so I had to say it again.
It is long-term value.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with the boom. I'm going to be an optimist for a fellow Buckeye.
I hope he works out.
Me too.
I really do. I just don't think he's going to.
If I use my brain, which I don't always do in life, it's probably bust. But I'm going to give him the Buckeye. If you went to Michigan, it'd be different.
Yeah.
And anybody who says, like, oh, you go one way or another, I'm all in on J.J. McCarthy. Don't you ever forget that.
That's right.
And I was all in on, I like Nico Collins a lot coming
True.
in. So don't you ever, we drafted Braylon Edwards. I was excited.
I have an unhealthy amount of Colston Loveland shares this year.
Totally want some. Mason Graham, we're 5 overall. Happy to have the kid.
Yep.
It's just when you're out of there, it's fine. Even then, you're cool.
I've lost the hate. I know that we were talking about it a little. My hate has dwindled.
I don't like this football team. That's about it. And honestly, I don't like their colors. It really annoys the shit out of me.
Okay.
P on their helmet. Anyways.
I mean, our high school had the same colors. So.
I know. That's a big thing. we were the Euclid Panthers.
Yes, we were.
Euclid, Ohio. We had a really good run there. Our first running back at our high school, before we were too old, Robert Smith was our running back at Euclid High School. Yeah. Went on to Ohio State, did great things in the NFL at the Minnesota Vikings, retired early. Now he's an analyst.
I was watching him when we were in middle school.
We were in middle school, and Robert was, he lived right down the street from me, by the way, which is awesome. After that was Pepe Pearson, who didn't go in the NFL and do great things, but he was a really good running back at Ohio State. After that was a friend of ours, and still a friend of mine to this day, Tony Fisher.
Tony Fisher graduated with us. My class. I've been friends with Tony since we were in third grade. Mm-hmm. He went on to Notre Dame, and if anybody remembers, he was a running back and started for a while and played at Green Bay Packers with Michael Thomas. Who's other running back? I don't know.
I'm on Green.
I'm on Green
was the other running back there.
Obviously, Brett Favre was the quarterback.
So Euclid, Ohio had a good run. I got to text my wife real quick. She asked me if I'm going to eat dinner with them, and I do want food.
Who doesn't? Tell her I'll eat something. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Matt's hungry too. He wants a burrito. So, all right. We're going to our next batch. I got to do what I'm obligated to do.
Yes.
What my contract says I have to do, and tell you about our friends, because we're friendly people here.
We are friendly people.
Yeah. I got to tell you about our friends over at FastDraft. They keep growing. They launched something completely different, like I talked about these last couple of weeks, and it's the Rabbit Tournament. This isn't your typical best ball format. It's created massive opportunities for sharp players like Matt, like me, and probably some of you. Not all of you, but some of you, the ones that listen.
Yeah, the ones that are really listening.
Just give me the pew-pew.
Yeah.
I love the pew-pew. Here's what makes the Rabbit Draft so special. It's 15 roster spots, starting 8 players, full PPR with total points scoring. And only 10 teams per draft going 15 rounds deep with a 20-second clock. Drafts finish in just 20 minutes, twice as fast as a traditional best ball draft. Plus, it's completely rake-free, giving volume players the best possible return on investment. The best part, since many new players are discovering best ball through FastDraft, the ADP is still considered soft, perfect for experienced Dynasty players to exploit. Use the promo code NERDS when you sign up, and FastDraft will match your first deposit 100% up to $50. Non-members who deposit at least $10, non-members of the Nerd Herd, will get a free 1-year subscription to the Nerd Herd and Dynasty GM bundle. It's everything we have to offer here at Dynasty Nerds for as simple as a $10 play. And if you're already a member, we'll get you a $25 gift certificate to the Dynasty Nerds merch store, which can be used on our YouTube show, the Roster Rescue Show, where we kind of overlook your roster and kind of tell you which way to go and trades to make, or anything in our merch store. So download the FastDraft app or go to draftfaster.com. Use the promo code NERDS, and let's dominate this rabbit together. Promo codes and t-shirt forms are sent out weekly. And then my friends at myffpc.com, right now, they are hosting new leagues. It's another opportunity to increase that Dynasty portfolio and just get to a safe place, right? A place you can go, play Dynasty long-term, never worry about the league folding, never worry about the Dynasty value you want to get into, whether it be a $75 league or a $2,200 league. They have a league for you. Standard, PPR, Superflex, Tight End Premium, RotoViz,
Triflex,
Flex, Superflex. Yeah. Yes, they have a lot of options over there. We encourage you, go over to myffpc.com, check them out, and see if you can find a league that fits for you. You never know what you're going to find. And listen, I know you. You know me. You're never in enough Dynasty leagues, right? Like,
definitely.
It's why we be at the Dynasty GM in the first place, right? To help you manage all your leagues. And guess what? MyFFPC.com leagues can be uploaded in Dynasty GM, and you can manage them from there, just like Sleeper, Flea Flicker, MFL, and ESPN, and so much more.
Promo code NERDS.
Promo code NERDS. And you get $25 off any league you join. Check them out. Expand that portfolio. Step your game up.
Startups happening right now.
Startups happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're tired of playing in that $100 league because we mentioned Larry down the street still dragging his feet, living off the government.
Larry.
Go back to bed, Larry. Go ahead and check them out. Expand that. You just got to raise. Don't buy a new car. Get in a $2,000 league. Buy 2 new cars. MyFFPC.com, promo code NERDS. Let me get a sip because my mouth never has enough moisture.
Gosh, not enough moisture. Definitely not.
I spit sometimes when I talk because I have a lot of saliva. People are like, oh, you got a lisp. I'm like, yeah, I blame the saliva.
Just blame the saliva. That's what.
Listen, the good Lord blessed me with extra saliva in my mouth. I can't help it. I talk fast, so I have no. Somebody said like if Rich just slows down his talking, he'll have time to swallow. Was that like a review one time?
I get that. Sounds like it would be a review. Yeah.
I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, I bet I probably only get a lot of saliva buildup only because I talk so much. I don't give it time to swallow.
That person actually, I think, maybe solved your issue. Slow it down, Rich.
Doctor advice. I appreciate it. I'll hit you up.
Then they could just play you on 1.5, and then you'll sound just like yourself right now. And then you'll still have the saliva issue, or you won't have the saliva issue.
Same thing I tell my wife. Listen, I'm 45.
I'm not changing.
I am who I am.
Yep.
I'm closer to death than changing. Okay? Enjoy me while I'm here. All right? I don't know how much longer I got.
The old can't keep a dog down. Can't teach an old dog new tricks is what I was trying to say, but apparently you can't keep an old dog down either.
Rough.
All right, let's roll.
Rough. My wife just texted me. Ooh, Five Guys.
Oh man, look at
Absolutely.
burgers and fries. Is that our new sponsor? Did we just come up with a new sponsor?
Dude, if Chipotle and Five Guys sponsored me,
oh my gosh,
I'd be Five Guys. People talk any other fast food burger place in the game doesn't touch Five Guys. Okay. And the fries, I could eat Five Guys and Chipotle once a week and be a satisfied customer. Throw in a good burrito place, a sushi place, and some wings. Five Guys,
yeah,
Chipotle,
yes.
That takes care of the burrito place.
Just a burrito place in general.
Okay, or just Mexican, but Five Guys, Chipotle, sushi, wings, pizza,
okay,
Italian.
Yeah. You got to give me some Mediterranean, like some Aladdin's or something in there.
I'll take it.
Yep.
Number 7, Wild Card Sunday. Wild Card Sunday.
Got to give me some hummus.
Every day. Put me on a schedule and give me one wild card. Dude, Aladdin's hummus.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a hummus guy. Because hummus can be really iffy.
You got to get like fresh hummus.
Aladdin's hummus.
Yeah. With their hot sauce?
First of all, that hot sauce, Ashley looked up how many calories in it. Absurd. Don't ever look it up because you'll never want to eat again. I know what it is. I still get down on that.
I'll drink it. I don't care. It's delicious.
Dude. Yeah. I'm like, go back to the dog. Lap, 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 lap. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We need a little curled duck. Dude, Aladdin's hummus. You mix it with the tomato. Oh,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, it's so good.
Now I'm salivating again. Not because I'm talking, because my wife's giving me Five Guys.
I get the hummus chicken plate, so it's got chicken on top too.
Oh, dude, can you talk? I got to tell her what I want. I'm going to have Five Guys.
Oh, my gosh. What kind of burger are you getting?
Jalapeno.
All right.
Lettuce. Mayo.
Yeah.
And what else do I get? Jalapeno, lettuce, mayo. Oh,
I know
onion.
this is totally off topic, but I almost know your burger order because you've butt dialed me so many times when you've been in line for places. I can hear you talking. I'm like, Rich, and you're like, oh, I'll take a burger with a. I'm like, dang it.
I'll take a cheeseburger,
pocket
lettuce,
dial again.
Jalapeno, mayo, onion. And the onion I'll flip, grilled or raw.
You pocket dialed me just the other day. You didn't know it.
I didn't?
No. I never called you back.
Because the problem is when I call my kids or my wife, I just hit the favorites button and you're on the favorites.
Yeah.
So like it's easy if I don't hit this home screen, like I bring it up here.
There I am.
Like you're right there. And the easy little butt tap, little finger tap. Put it in my back pocket, I tap it. I do it to people all the time.
Yep.
I'm a habitual butt dialer.
Yes, you are.
But it's just what I do.
Right.
Good thing I'm not gassy. I have a lot to say if that's the case. Rich, are you in a hurricane? It's windy over there.
Are you testing turbines? What is that?
Is it storming? That's a loud thunder out there. Boom, boom, shake the room.
Oh, man.
All right, my next boom or bust guy.
Boom, boom. Here we go. How did you find that? Oh, way to tie that in.
Pew, pew. Oh, my next guy's a veteran who might be a good value to go out there and trade for, and that is Stefon Diggs of the New England Patriots. Yes, he's 31. Yes, he's coming off a torn ACL. The New England Patriots made him his marquee signing, right? Like they need to bolster that offense. Why do they need to bolster that passing offense, Matt? Because they were dead last in the NFL last year in receiving yards. Dead last. So
I mean, what's the names of the wide receivers on that list from last year? Keyshawn Boutte, Demario Douglas,
Pop Douglas.
Who else?
I'm trying to think. He's like pop. He's like, you won't pop in my head. Oh, you're right. A bunch of turds out.
Yeah, I mean, so it doesn't shock me, right?
So dead last. They signed him to a 3-year, $63 to $69 million deal, $26 million guaranteed, and he's gonna be Drake May's number one target in a new offense too. You bring in Josh McDaniels. Mike Vrabel's gonna run the team. No nonsense coach.
Oh, Jalen Polk, by the way,
second round pick
was on that team last year. Terrible second round pick.
When you look back at what Diggs last year, I've mentioned this a couple times on shows, like Diggs was a really good receiver last year in 2024. Before he got hurt last year, he was on pace for a 7th straight 1,000-yard game season.
That'd be a sweet game.
Yeah, his projection was 100 catches, 1,054 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And early on in PPR, I mean, he dominated. He averaged 17.2 points per game, weeks 1 through 6. He got hurt in week 7. He was up until he got hurt, he was wide receiver 6 overall.
Man.
Stefon Diggs.
So he's like a forgotten guy now.
He is.
Yeah.
Because he's old and he's hurt. And this is only like a 1-year buy. But again, this is boom or bust, right?
Totally.
So it's a short window boom or bust. And what I really like here, so we're not doing a 1, 2, 3 yet, but what I really like here is Diggs is a really good, precise route runner, right? And he's somebody who just he's the number one target in your offense. And last year, he averaged about 7 targets per game, which makes, again, that Dynasty PPR gold mine. So what I love with the fit is he fits into Josh McDaniels' offense really well. Which what does McDaniels' offense do? It emphasizes that quick, short routes, which really fits into ideally into Stefon Diggs' skill set. You got Drake May, big arm, get the ball anywhere downfield, strong kid, can move the pocket, really move things along here. So Diggs is probably in line to see about that ideal wide receiver 1, 25, 30% target share, over 8 catches per game, and can flirt right around that 17 to 20 points per game PPR there. So if Drake May can step his game up, Diggs could be healthy in this offense where there's nobody else around him. I think the legit person around him is going to be Kyle Williams and Hunter Henry.
Sure.
Like he has a strong, and obviously Trevian Henderson's going to be involved. He's a strong chance to do that. But, of course, there's a lot of risk. He's 31 years old. He's coming off the ACL injury, which he hurt in 24.
And he was already participating in offseason.
Yes.
He's not cleared, right?
No. He's ahead of schedule.
But he's ahead of schedule.
And they say he looks really good. They're already saying he looks fast and explosive.
Yeah.
So that's great news for him. So all the minicamp reports that he's ahead of schedule. He's showing good speed. His agility looks good there. Obviously, we won't know about explosiveness until he really puts it to the test. So that the injury is a concern. The offense as a whole is a concern, right? We have no idea how this is all going to shake out. I mean, they're dead last in a pass game last year. I thought ESPN had him ranked 30th overall going into this year. May's still inexperienced. He had 10 interceptions last year, so he's still a young, inexperienced quarterback. So we see inconsistency there. And, you got Pop Douglas, you got Kendrick Bourne, somebody there, you got Hunter Henry, Kyle Williams. We don't know who necessarily Drake may favor, right?
We don't know who Drake May is going to favor. We don't know. I don't know this. I don't know if you do or if you feel good about this. Obviously, nobody knows. I don't know how I feel yet about Josh McDaniels in general. Like we've seen him with Tom Brady and be successful. We've seen him in 2 head coaching stints when he was not
atrocious,
and he was terrible,
atrocious,
and that was away from Tom Brady. was that because he was head coach, you know what I mean? And not just being an offensive coordinator. And now that he's back, just being an offensive coordinator, everything's going to be hunky-dory? Or was his magic
Brady?
Tom Brady? And that's what we don't know until this year. So this is one of those things where Stefon Diggs can absolutely, I think, if he's healthy, be a great addition and be an important part of this offense and be important for fantasy. But if he's not right, that all goes out the window. So that's big time bust potential. But if Josh McDaniels and this offense is a mess, like we've seen him in his head coaching stints,
atrocious,
then it can be a bust on that level.
He could be like googly eyes Adam Gase.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and then Diggs also has that concern of that yacht video with the substance thing. I mean, it's all blown in the wind by now, but it's still like, that's a little something to back to like lean towards a bust factor somehow.
I mean, I think it all goes into the equation. I don't know how much, and I don't know how much, if anything, the NFL could do about that. I mean, without any evidence, Stefon Diggs could be like, that was pixie sticks. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no proof that anyone was doing anything. There's no proof that it was anything other than a pink bag of chalk. You know what I mean? Like it could be, you know what I mean? There's no real proof there.
They dropped the offensive line. Offensive line should be better this year too. So Drake may should have a little bit more time. We'll see. It's an interesting player, but like I was going through because after we give you your last one, I have a couple more I'm going to say real quickly, guys. Sure. I'm on the boom bust list, and there's like guys like another old receiver I still like a lot. Okay. Boom or bust. I'm going to kind of give you the name. You can tell me, you can see him going boom or bust, and then we'll kind of end the show there because rumor is I got 5 guys coming.
Okay. Then let's move on to my next player here. And the guy that I want to say, hey, what do we got here is Jaylen Wright. ADP right now is 181. Obviously, you know, that puts him in like the 15th round. So, you know, there is already some built-in kind of people don't know what the hell to do with this guy. But last year, obviously, rookie season, he was running back 94 on the year. And I don't know, you know, like, you know, he comes in as a 4th-round draft pick last year, which they traded up to get him. They traded a 3rd-round draft pick this year to get him. So it's not like that 4th-round pick was a typical 4th-round pick. I think there was a little bit of expectations put on Wright last year. And, you know, obviously in general, the Dolphins' offense was a mess last year. And the only, I think, players that escaped that was Devon Achane and Jonnu Smith. Everyone else kind of was affected by the issues surrounding that entire offense. But you don't have to go back, you know, obviously, you know, last year Devon Achane was running back 5 and Jonnu Smith was whatever the hell he was at tight end. But you don't have to go back that far to see this offense kind of click and be able to support 2 running backs. It was 2023 where Raheem Mostert was running back 5, Devon Achane was running back 24, and I think there was a little bit of meat probably left on the bone with Devon Achane. He missed some games in that rookie season as well. But if you remember, that was based off of Devon Achane doing a lot of work in the passing game and an ungodly amount of touchdowns for Raheem Mostert. He got 18 on the ground, 3 through the air. He didn't catch a ton of passes, only like 25. So I think there's meat on the bone if everything's clicking and everything is right in this offense for Devon Achane to maintain and be running back 5 and Jaylen Wright be running back 15, 16, somewhere like that. It's not like a crazy boom where he's all of a sudden like the top guy. I mean, if everything worked out perfect and fell in his way, and maybe Devon Achane suffered an injury, then it could. You know what I mean? This offense is certainly explosive enough, and a player like Jaylen Wright obviously has the speed and everything like that I think would work in this offense. But I think it doesn't need to be that for him to be at least somewhat of a boom and you know, at least be talked about in the running back 2 conversation as a startable guy. But there's also a case to be made that last year he wasn't efficient at all. 3.7 yards per carry over 68 attempts. But it was weird. It was an odd situation where he started off the year doing just fine. He was in like the 5 yard per carry average. It was on his like first 40 carries, 30 something carries. It was those last 30 carries where he did awful. And specifically in his last game, I think he had 8 or 9 carries or something like that for -6 yards. Like just an atrocious game. But there were glimpses also in there of him doing okay. There was a game where I think he got, I'm trying to find it here. I have to go so far down the list to pull up his stats because he's way down. There was a game where he had 9 carries for 32 yards or 13 carries for 86 yards. That was week 5. That was the week where Devon Achane missed that game, and he got 13 carries for 86 yards. I think that was a Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert, like perfect storm type of situation. It didn't produce a ton of fantasy points because that's all he got, but he was efficient. He had 6.6 yards per carry in that game. So I don't know what to think. Obviously, there's hype around all these guys every single offseason, but apparently he put on some weight, and it's good weight, and he looks fast and explosive, and he's bigger. And that's what he needs to be. Like, Devon Achane isn't going to be able to ever – he's not a guy that can put on 15 pounds and be the type of player that he is now. But Jaylen Wright had the type of build and body to kind of put on weight and still be explosive. So I'm real curious to see what he is this year. Obviously, this whole offense, I think, has a lot of boom-bust potential. I think you could pick him. You could pick Tua. You could pick Tyreek Hill for a lot of different reasons as far as boom-bust, just because there's so much hinging on Tua's health, which is very hard and to figure out whether or not he's going to be there or not. And just the whole offense and the whole Mike McDaniel coaching issue is like who knows what the heck is going to happen. Yeah. This could be it.
It's a big year.
It's a big year for this whole entire team. So I don't know where you fall with a guy like Jaylen Wright. I have a leaning, but this one could go either way, in my opinion.
Yeah. I actually mentioned him name. I think it was a show you weren't here a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, but I could argue I'm probably higher on Jaylen Wright than anybody in the industry. Like, that's how all in I am. I've tried to trade for him. I've tried to give second-round picks for him. Not a lot of success. You're right.
I think it's hard to give a second-round pick for a guy that was just drafted for a second-round pick.
I get it. And that's fine. And
some people might bite because they hate the 3.7 yards per carry average. He just didn't do much in his rookie season.
And to be fair, I have a hard time sometimes because, like, I'm in a lot of nerd herd leagues, and people hear my opinion on stuff, and then they say, hey, Rich is off for a second. Maybe I should hold back.
You're right.
But I'm all in on Jaylen Wright. I really am. You mentioned everything that on top of what you said. This is a team that runs a lot of motion. We already saw that they could support 2 high-end running backs. Just again, not only was Raheem Mostert running back 5, but that's when Achane was averaging over 7 yards per rush, right? At the same time.
It was, I think,
same year.
Like almost 10.
Yeah, something ridiculous, whatever it was. It was even higher, I think like 30, whatever. So Jaylen Wright was a player that fits this offense to a T. He's what coming out a couple of years ago, he's the most explosive running back in the draft class. He ran a 4.3. This offense runs a ton of motion. They like to confuse the defense, and he fits that perfectly. He adds a little weight, gets a little bit bigger. He has a clear-cut path to be in this offense. They don't really add anybody significant. They added somebody that was late. I can't remember who it was. It didn't worry me who it was.
It's Ollie Gordon.
Ollie Gordon.
It's Ollie Gordon. And he's not the type of back that they would normally pick. So that's why it's kind of like he's a little slower. He's a bigger guy.
Completely different back, too.
He is a different kind of back. He's almost like a Jeff Wilson. You know what I mean? Replacement.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think he can do some things between the tackles if he gets the opportunity, but he isn't the explosive guy that Achane is and Wright is.
And with this offense, and getting back with a healthy Tua, that's a key. Because when Tua is healthy, this offense hums, right? Mm-hmm. We'll see an increase with Jalen Waddle. Now, a couple other big things, because this also helps Achane, but also helps Wright if they utilize him this way, is like Jonnu Smith took a lot of stuff in the middle last year, and they really went there. That's how Arthur Smith they used a lot of that there. That's going to be gone this year. So it's going to really open some of that up in the pass game. Really helps Achane the most.
For sure.
But also can help a guy like Jaylen Wright. I'll end it with this. Because if you heard me talk about Jaylen Wright, you've already heard me mention so much about him. But I'll end it with this, which I've already mentioned. Mike McDaniel and this team, because this is only Jaylen Wright's second year in this offense. They believed in him so much for this offense. Not only was he taken with a 4th-round pick, I believe, but they gave him a 3rd-round pick in the 2025 draft as well, kind of very similar to the Woody Marks deal for the Texans. They gave a 4th and a 3rd-round pick for Jaylen Wright. That's how much they believed in him. And this is a year I think you're right, boom or bust. Is he a part of this offense? Does he make it work? And if he does, it's a boom. And we've seen that boom already before out of a 31-year-old running back that brought the boom. I think Jaylen Wright could bring a little, he was like an M30. He's going to be like an M1. I don't even know what those works. Those fireworks. M80. I don't touch them because I don't want to be like Jason Pierre-Paul. I don't want to be like Najee Harris out there and going, arg, matey. You know, like I got to be careful around those things. So,
ditto.
I think Jaylen Wright is a great person. He's the first person when we put the show together, like, oh, boomer bust, that popped in my head. But again, it's hard sometimes because you talk about these players so much. Like, I can't talk about Jerry Jeudy anymore. I can't talk about Jaylen Wright anymore. Otherwise, I'm just redundant. And we have a show of me just preaching how much I like these guys. I got to talk about a lot of players to let you know how I feel. So there it is.
So you're glad I brought him up so I could.
I was ecstatic.
Hey, guys, we are super excited to announce that we have a show that we've been doing for a few months now called Roster Rescue. It's every Monday at noon, and sometimes we even do extra shows if we have a lot of roster rescues to do. But basically what it is, it's an opportunity for us to take a look at your guys' teams, your specific team, and say, hey, I think you should go into rebuild. Hey, I think you are a contending team. Hey, trade for this guy. Hey, maybe look to make this move. We get eyes and hands on your specific team. So if you want to do that, go ahead and head to the website, go under the store tab, and go down to Roster Rescue. Go there, use promo code RESCUE10, and you'll get 10% off. So head there today. It's a great opportunity for us to come rescue your rosters.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Well, we're doing Stefon Diggs.
Stefon Diggs.
Ready?
Yeah.
So obviously this is just going to be for 2025. It's not any dynasty value, boomer bust. It's just for this season.
Just for this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, boom. Look, we're going to be Costco guys. Jaylen Wright.
Yeah.
Do you believe this is dynasty value overall? And it starts this year.
Yeah.
Do you believe in Jaylen Wright? Do you know? If you know me, you probably know which way I'm going.
I do know which way you're going. I still haven't decided.
I know. So I count to 3 to let you really marinate on that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boom.
Bust.
There we go. We're same as last time.
Yep.
2 booms, then a boom and a bust.
I hope he's not. I need him to do well in one of our leagues.
Well, same conversation we had last time.
Yep.
So
and we'll see. So any quick rapid ones?
Yeah. Here's a couple guys I really like. I think Calvin Ridley is a good boom bust player out there in Tennessee. The Titans are finally going to see the best quarterback they've had since Steve McNair. Calvin Ridley, again, 31 years old, very elite route runner. All his competition is just young. Yet Okunakwo, right?
Yep.
Doesn't really move the needle. Besides that, you have Restrepo and like Alec Ailmanor and then like Tyler Lockett, right? Like there's not a lot of like competition out there against Calvin Ridley. Can really take the top off of any defense. Cam Ward's a really good, accurate quarterback. Calvin Ridley we've seen put up elite fantasy football production. I think even last year, Ridley was wide receiver 29. 29, yeah, sure. Points per game. So not even like a terrible receiver last year. Now with Will Levis, and Will Levis was just not an accurate quarterback. Cam Ward much better. I think Calvin Ridley is that sneaky older player that we see one last hurrah out of, then give you that boom bust potential.
We're talking wide receiver 15, 16, boom.
I think the teens is the way to go. Like it wouldn't surprise me if he reached as high as like 13. Like he has that kind of potential, being a team that's going to trail a lot, going to have to throw the football a ton. Get his quarterback some reps. Not the strongest run game in the world. I think he has a real chance to kind of like be that one sneaky. It really came down to him and Stefon Diggs, like who I believed in first, which was I was going to go for my main guy. They're pretty equal in my part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Calvin Ridley is a big boomer bust guy that's very affordable for me. I think a dynasty value guy that's boomer bust also. This obviously Calvin Ridley is just a 1 year guy. George Pickens, George Pickens could be a boom or bust guy out there with Dak with CD offset on him.
Agree. That could go either way. There is some potential for it to go poorly if he gets away from Pittsburgh and he goes off the rails. You know what I mean? Just from a personality standpoint, it just doesn't work. I think that's the way it doesn't work. Is it's like George Pickens kind of self-destructing.
He's self-inflicted. I mean, last year he averaged 16.6 points per game in PPR. Good for wide receiver 16 overall.
Because he's a hell of a talent. And
highly real.
Now he's going to be with the best quarterback ever, and he's going to be offset with a fantastic wide receiver one on away from him, just pulling all the coverage that way. So this is really a great opportunity for George Pickens. Hopefully it doesn't blow up.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. He's somebody that can give him a 20-point per game basis. Dak really good pushing the ball downfield, definitely towards the boundaries and being accurate. George Pickens thrives there. So I think George Pickens is definitely like a big boomer bust player. I think another player, Matt, that I had on my list here that was a potential guy that I thought was like for dynasty value too, that could plummet here, is Kenneth Walker. Big boomer bust guy. I mean, he's been a roller coaster for his last couple of years. We've talked about a ton, these core issues that he's having year in, year out. And we saw last year like what he could kind of be, right? In 2024, he started off so hot. He averaged 22.3 PPR points per game, weeks 1 through 7. That was good for running back 2 overall, Kenneth Walker. He had a career high 4.2 per receptions per game, had some big runs, but after that, the second half of the season is where it really fell off. The second half was rough. He averaged 11.7 PPR points per game, good for running back 26 overall. And if he can't put together a bit this year, they have Zach Charbonnet.
They got Martinez.
David Martinez.
Martinez from this year. They even have Kenny McIntosh is still there.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of horses kind of in the stable there if things don't go right for Kenny McIntosh. So I agree. This is one of those ones that could go either way. I have one real quick. DeAndre Swift. Obviously, we kind of know the story there. There's not a ton behind him. I mean, Roshan Johnson is there.
Kyle
Monangai is there. But we don't know if this is going to go extremely well with the reuniting with Ben Johnson. With him, he's basically the top dog. I mean, we've seen him do okay in that role. Last year was his first year where he played all 17 games. So things might be coming together for him, and that would be great. You know, getting him in the offense, Ben Johnson offense, out in space, all that kind of good stuff. And you know, one of those other guys emerges as kind of like the battering ram and short yardage guy. That would be great. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario where he could totally bust out is Ben Johnson didn't like him in Detroit. Now he doesn't like him here in Chicago, and he's gone. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden you went from a guy who was middling, you know, he's like a wide receiver, like a middling wide receiver 2 or running back 2, to all of a sudden he doesn't have a lot of value out there on the open market, and it's kind of it's hard to get any value out of the guy.
Yeah, it's a really good one as well. I like that one a lot. So yeah, that's it for today's show. Before we go, I got to tell everybody again about the Dynasty GM. If you have not downloaded the Dynasty GM yet, which is the Dynasty Nerds app in your app store, I don't know what you're doing. If you want to dominate your Dynasty leagues, there's not a better Dynasty tool in the app store than the Dynasty GM. It's going to show you whether you're stuck in the middle, help you expedite trades, import all your leagues into one spot, give you a trade finder, give you a mock draft tool, give you a dynasty, a trade calculator, right? And the biggest
trade calculator, trade finder, it's got a ton of tools for trades,
and so many tools to come, right? Yep. We're going to be on the film room to there. Your overall player shares, values, so much.
The league overview, it might be the most underrated thing.
The league analyzer is my favorite tool in all of Dynasty. It really helps me show me where I'm at, and if I want to make a trade, who's strong at running back, who's weak at running back. Hey, I'm strong at running back. I need a receiver. It's going to tell me instantly where it is. You can put it in dynasty mode, or you can put it in contender mode and kind of really see where you stand in your league. But one thing we don't ever talk about a lot is you can import your own rank set in here as well. So the whole app can run off of your rankings and how you view these dynasty players.
Yep, do a custom rank set, and then you just push it out to the everything. The whole GM.
The league analyzer. And more importantly, like the trade calculator. Never second guess a trade again by importing your own rank set. Or maybe like, hey, you import your own rank set, you go off the Dynasty Nerds rank set, and then you upload like JJ Zacharysen's or Matt Harmon's or Matthew Berry's or the fantasy footballers. You upload their rankings, all of them. And your app will run off all those guys. And all you have to do is hit a button and kind of switch back and forth and see like where the difference is. Like, wow, the trade, Rich says I win this trade by a lot. Matt Harmon says I win this trade by a lot. JJ Zacharysen says I win this trade by a lot. Matthew Berry says I lose this trade, and the footballers say I lose this trade. You know, like you kind of look at it from that kind of lens. The Dynasty GM lets you do so much like that and so much more, and a lot to come. So download the app today. Remember, you get a free membership by just putting $10 into FastDraft and really play with it for a year. I promise you'll be a better Dynasty player for it. We'll see you next week with more Dynasty Fantasy Football Talk.
Adios.